What's up, and welcome to Nighttime at the Nerd Bar, episode 49. One more, and then we got 50.
Oh
Woo!
my God. Just in time for the holidays.
Yes. Well, thank you, everybody, joining us live. If you're live with us, join us in the live chat. And if you're watching later, no worries. Comment down below. We are covering a lot of stuff. I was like, what shows are we watching? Because I'm like, oh, what other one? Nah. But the main ones you're here for are My Hero Academia and Spy Family. We also have convention news and unboxing and some other fun stuff.
Good times.
Yes, but introductions. Hello, I'm Carrie Lane.
And I'm Katie Cullen.
Yes. So first off, I was like, things we're excited about. So these are like announcements and things. And one of the things I'm super excited about it because I saw it and I'm like, when you're reading the news and you're just like, wait, I'm excited about, or at least with anime.
Yeah.
So Crunchyroll for coming out in 2023, we have Hell's Paradise, and the big title that I was like, is Ancient Magus Bride Season 2.
Yes.
Yes. I was very excited about that one.
Yeah.
That one, I was trying to see if they have a specific date. So that'll be in April, which is very exciting. Also, Yuri is My Job, Dead Mount Death Play, which I'm like, that sounds like a fun name.
Yeah.
The Ice Guy and his cool female colleagues. All right, that's in there. Saving 80,000 gold in another world for my retirement and more. So there's a lot of wonderful titles, exciting titles coming to Crunchyroll. So stay on the lookout for that. If you haven't watched Ancient Magus Bride, go watch it. It's so good.
Yes. We also, on the flip side, have a bunch of fun new titles coming to HIDIVE as well. This is spread across several emails, so work with me here. But for the winter season in 2023, we are looking at Spy Classroom and Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible, which sounds amazing to me.
That sounds very interesting.
Our other acquisitions include My Life as Inuki-san's Dog, Endo and Kobayashi Live, the latest on Tsundere villainous Leslie Ott. Oh my God. That's a light novel title if I've ever heard one. And I'm interested. Tsurune, the Linking Shot, that's that second season. The Dangers in My Heart, Oshi no Ko, and Tsurune the Movie, First Shot. So it looks like we've got Shot and Chaser for that.
All right.
So yeah, HIDIVE looks like it's going to have a pretty stacked winter season as well. So keep an eye out for those. That I believe technically the winter season for anime starts in early January, I think. Early mid-January.
I will say sure.
We don't get seasons in California.
Yeah,
so
I was like,
when's the winter season start? I don't know. When's the solstice?
Right. We got a couple people in the live chat. We got Giga Derek.
Hello.
And we got Charles Darcy. Good to be back. Yes, well, with holidays and such, stay tuned, especially to the social medias, because then we'll let you know.
Yes.
Because things.
Yes.
Charles mentioned
Twitter
January.
January. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. And if Twitter shuffles off this mortal coil, which it might, we also have other social medias that we will talk about at the end. So eyes on those as well.
So then the other things we're excited about is tickets are now on sale for the Crunchyroll's romantic comedy, The Quintessential Quintuplets Movie. So that'll be for North America, UK, Ireland, Australia, and New Zealand. If we have anybody in other countries, please leave a comment, let us know. That's exciting to hear where y'all are from.
Yeah.
So that one, the eagerly awaited conclusion to the popular series comes to theaters, English-speaking territories beginning on December 1st. So get your tickets now because that's exciting. Looks like the release dates are the 1st, 2nd, and 7th and 8th. Okay, so check for your local listings, but very soon, beginning of December.
Usually for release dates like that, you have a weekend of sub and a weekend of dub.
Yeah, so double check on those.
Make sure you double check for the language track that you prefer. Both are equally valid.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting that they're finishing that in a movie. To my understanding, it's one of those harem comedies where they show you the wedding at the beginning, but they don't show you the identity of the bride. So you know our main character is going to wind up with one of these 5 sisters that he's tutoring, but they really string you along as to which one. So, one of those.
I was like, isn't that the How I Met Your Mother kind of thing too, essentially? I mean,
Yeah,
I
but
haven't watched
unlike How I Met Your Mother, I believe that quintessential quintuplets can stick the landing.
Ah, I did hear some people are a little more like meh about where that went in, but that's
Oh,
okay.
oh, that's a whole other thing. Oh, it was great up until the series finale, and the series finale just like burned it down and salted the earth. It was bad. It
I
was
didn't
really
watch it,
bad.
but I was an extra a couple times. But
I absolutely watched it
I have many
fairly
friends who
religiously.
did. Yeah. Where is it going? Okay, so the other exciting thing, we'll hop to this real quick too. We have an unboxing.
Oh, we aren't done with news. Didn't we
Oh,
have
I'm
another?
just kidding. Just kidding.
I said, wait a minute. We had
I'm
home
just so
releases for
excited.
Crunch. Didn't we have home releases for Crunchyroll?
I just had the ones pulled up for 2023.
Maybe home releases from Crunchyroll was 2 weeks ago. I'm very good at this.
We had the Vinland Saga is coming to season 2 is coming in January 2023. I didn't mention that, but still.
Yeah, Crunchyroll home video release. It was from, yeah, it was less than a week ago.
I think we're just thrown off because we had last week was wonky.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, but
I was
this I
like,
think came out Tuesday.
yes. So
So it looks like February 2022. Crunchyroll is also releasing Horimiya, The Slime Diaries, Love After World Domination, which that one is the one that looks really fun to me, and a number of others on Blu-ray, DVD box sets. And of course, the limited edition
nice.
ones. We're getting limited edition ones for Horimiya, so we're getting character art cards and an enamel pin. That's a phrase that I'm having trouble with. You just, you get these deluxe home releases. They come with all sorts of fun stuff. So if you're
Oh, yeah.
into any of those series, Horimiya, How Not to Summon a Demon Lord Season 2, Slime Diaries, World Witches Takes Off, and Love After World Domination, those are all dropping in February. So, put those on your holiday gift lists. And if people get them for you, they can print out a picture and put it in a card and be like, this is what you're receiving later.
That's a smart idea. Yeah, be like, I pre-ordered it for you. Here is your. Yeah.
That's how you get around so this hasn't arrived yet, but it will arrive. It will be your belated holiday gift.
Spread out the cheer and, the presents.
Yes.
Nice.
It's delayed gratification.
Yes.
I just wanted to do a little bit of convention news to round out convention stuff because I was at one this past weekend. I'm going to be at another one in 2 weekends. And evidently, there is also a convention this coming weekend. So if you are in San Francisco or the San Francisco area, here we go. Fan Expo San Francisco is going to be this weekend. It's at the Moscone Center. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It looks like they have a pretty stacked guest lineup. The names in the announcement that they gave me are Giancarlo Esposito, Lou Ferrigno, and Ron Perlman. So, guys, if you're in San Francisco and you go, I had a nice holiday, and now instead of doing like Black Friday or anything else, I really just want to be a nerd for the next 3 days.
Or Artist Alley Black Friday shopping
Oh
idea.
my God, yes.
It's Small Business Saturday. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Small Business Saturday in your local Artist Alley. So yeah, Fan Expo San Francisco tickets should still be available. Do the thing, win the stuff, have fun at that one. And then, of course, after that, we have Los Angeles Comic Con is going to be that first week of December. That is also a 3-day show. And I am looking for my press release for that, but I believe it said that there were 140 guests at least.
Damn. All right.
Yeah. Oh no, I misread that entirely. 140K fans, 140,000 attendees, 800 plus artists and vendors, and the Artist Alley at LA Comic Con is always stellar. That is it's one of my favorite places to be at any convention, but LA Comic Cons is particularly good because you have the people who do your general anime conventions. So you've got all of that fun stuff. You have up and coming comic artists and you have established comic artists in these Artist Alley. So if they're selling commissions, you can just be like, will you please sign this? Will you please sketch? And you pay them the monies and then they do a sketch for you. And it's absolutely fantastic. Like LA Comic Con's Artist Alley is a combination of the best of both worlds. And
also,
that's
it's
very,
perfect
very
timing for holidays too. If you want to get yourself a gift or somebody else a gift, Good time.
Oh my God, yes. And we also have an absolutely incredible guest list, starting with Simu Liu. So, for those of you who watch Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings, Simu Liu, you guys, amazing. Elijah Wood is going to be there. Giancarlo Esposito is coming down from NorCal to SoCal for this. Charlie Hunnam, if I get to talk to that man, it's going to be about Pacific Rim. Everyone's like, oh, he's in this, he's in that. And I'm like, but he was also in Pacific Rim, and that's what I want to talk about. So just an absolutely amazing lineup. Ming-Na Wen, who is a queen, and I believe the first person to do what we're calling the Disney hat trick, in that she has been a Disney princess, a Marvel, and a Star Wars. Just an absolutely stacked guest lineup at LA Comic Con. They always have incredible panels. I think they always have a really huge Hot Topic merch booth. That is a lot of fun. It's a good place to be. So that is the first weekend of December. So not this coming weekend, but next weekend. I will be there. It's going to be a good time. So join me.
Yes. We got Giga Derek says, I was at Anime NYC this last weekend. Their artist alley is always wonderful. Noise.
Yes. Heard all sorts of good stuff coming out from Anime NYC. They had the Trigun premiere at Anime NYC.
Were you like,
oh, I had a friend who was there, and after the episode, she was basically just like, no, it's good. It's good. And I'm like, good. You're not allowed to tell me anything else, are you? And she's like, no. I'm like, that's fine. That's fine. I was at Anime Pasadena, which is the other end of the country and slightly smaller. It was a good time. I was not able to go both days because of prior commitments. It's one of those conventions where it struck me as a con that didn't expect to be as big as it was. It had some of the hallmarks of this convention used to be in a smaller location with slightly fewer people, and we've moved to a larger location and we have many more attendees. You can kind of see the growing pains there. That didn't cause too many issues for me, at least. I can't speak to everyone's convention experience. Had a pretty good panel lineup. Again, I keep saying the guest lineup is stacked, but Anime Pasadena, we will have interviews going up on the Fanversation channel. I was fortunate enough to talk to a few people like Jim Cummings, who is the voice of like everyone Disney, Bill Farmer, who has been the voice of Goofy for like 33 years, Elizabeth Maxwell, Grey Delisle Griffin, Alejandro Saab, who if you do Genshin Impact, he's the voice of Sino, and he had some very fun stories about that. So those will all, and a few more. And that was a fraction of the guests who were there. They had a corner that was a Death Note reunion. They had a corner that was a Naruto reunion. That was all of Team 7 is here and a bunch of villains. They had, here's the Dragon Ball corner. Here's Bryce Papenbrook's setup and the line that nearly goes out the door. They had, honestly, this is some of the best line management I've ever seen at a convention. Full stop. For the amount and caliber of the guests that they had, they handled internal lines extremely well. Like, I was not expecting it to be that solid, and it really was. And of course, Vendors Hall was fun. They had a Death Note throne set up near the Death Note reunion corner, and some fun pictures with that one. Of course, the Artist Alley, Vendor Hall, that area is always a ton of fun, and I definitely have my purchases sitting here on my desk. It's just a bunch of Pokemon stuff because that's where my life is right now. But some days you just make yourself happy, you know?
Is it like a
cute? They're all ghost Pokemon.
Aww.
Yeah, no, I saw this and it was the end of the day and I had no words left after 7 interviews. So it was basically like, I want the ghost, the little zipper ghost, please. Like, okay. She somehow understood that. And then I bought a bunch of stickers that were also mostly ghost Pokemon from another vendor. This is how I live my life in artist alleys. I just kind of run around and throw money at people who do cute things. It's great. It's how I recommend doing artist alleys.
Oh yeah. No, I like to peruse and just check out everyone's style, and everybody has their own unique style, and it's okay if you don't like it. Don't say anything, but you can keep going. And then the one that calls to you, then get something if it calls to you.
Yeah, if there's a booth you don't care for, you just walk right by it. And if there's a
Yep.
booth you do care for, you show up, open your wallet, and go, I'd like this, 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 and this, please. Here's the money. Let's go.
Pika Derek says Anime NYC line management disappoints. Ooh, bummer.
It's a convention thing. They either have really good line management or really poor line management. I've never
Yes.
seen a convention in the middle with just okay line management. It's like it's a pass-fail grade.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I've never seen just mediocre line management. And maybe there are conventions out there with mediocre line management, but I have not witnessed one. It's one or the other in my experience. But yeah, no, Anime Pasadena was a good time. All of that coverage is going to be up on, this YouTube channel, the Fanversation YouTube channel, by the end of the night. So, yes, keep an eye out for that.
Nice. I was looking. Gigaderic follows up saying, outside went through 3 busy streets. No, thank you. Outside and like crossing streets? No, thank you. I'd be like,
outside in the cold?
That too. No, thank
it was evidently cold this weekend in New York, from my understanding.
All right. Oh, there we go. And now let's do our unboxing.
Yes.
I was excited. So, because this one is a very special box because it came inside another box to protect it so it wouldn't get damaged, because it is a Persona 5 Royale box.
Oh, it's a Persona box.
And I was like, oh, it's so pretty. Like, look at that.
I thought you were about to show me a Halloween box, but no. Dang.
No, I was like, oh, this one's nice. So Japan Crate, this was their Persona 5 Royale box. Royal. And let's take a look inside. Okay, so open it up. So this is, okay, wait, there we go. Yay.
Amazing.
So yeah, there we go. You can see the branding right there. Nice. Japan Crate and Persona 5. So let's pull out their flyer, which I'm like, ooh, this feels like it's a poster. Yes, indeed. Like a nice.
Oh, nice.
Yay. Nice and shiny.
Yeah.
Good character art there. And we got some information. Yay. And then here's the other cool thing. So in your Japan Crate box, it has a breakdown of all the exciting yummy goodies that you can get. And let me put this down so I don't drop stuff.
So there's so many hands for these unboxings.
Yes. So the exciting one that I'm like, we always like to look at the Kit Kat.
Yes. Oh.
So this is salty lemon flavor. How good could the mixture of ripe and zesty lemon meeting melty, velvety white chocolate with a pinch of salt taste? It's good that you have an entire bag to experiment with your taste buds and enjoy while fusing with new personas.
Salty lemon is just kind of the internet, let's be real.
Yeah. I feel I've tried this flavor before and I liked it because it's just like a hint of salt. Looking at the chat, we got, yes. Charles says, Persona!
Yes, Persona time.
And then the other thing we're always excited about. Ooh, okay. So again, they are surprising us with the beverage. This one is a soup again. So I was like, okay, I like your creativity. Because last time was like a vegetable soup. So this is tomato and onion soup. A hearty tomato and onion soup full of a fresh vegetable and the perfect combination of ingredients for drinking during a rainy day at Cafe La Blanc.
Nice.
I don't know if I drink it. I just put it, I think I would add it to a bowl and heat up and add some. Oh my gosh! I'm a nerd. I looked. Oh my goodness. Look, they featured my picture.
Nice.
I hadn't even noticed. I just looked at that now. I'm like, that's so fun. Because my hair. Okay, wait. I'm going to try to strategically tip this. My hair was matching the bag color of the Doritos. Yay! Thank you, Japan Crate. That's so awesome.
Was that back when it was the salt Doritos and you made nachos out of them?
Yes, this was the salt Doritos.
Oh, wow.
And this is July, because it was also the super fresh green. Like, this is a bit faded. And I was going to
say, that was months ago.
Yeah, I want to say that was like, oh, yeah, it was like right before Anime Expo, because I remember I took pictures of that, and then I had an energy drink, too.
Yeah.
So the other fun thing in here that I was like, ooh, you get a I was like, do that little poker chip.
Oh thing. Dang.
Do they have that thing about bonus item, Persona 5 Royal Poker Chips. Persona 5 Royal Poker Chips features all your favorite characters, one of 6 variations included in your crate. These chips are Japan Crate exclusive and custom made, so take a moment, enjoy a few rounds of poker, or use them as a good luck charm while exploring the game's mysterious rumors and various urban legends. So very cool.
Nice. Very nice.
That's a fun bonus item.
I was gonna say I wouldn't bet with that. I would use that as
I know. I'm like, that's
blind marker.
I'll keep that as my good luck charm. Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, I need Persona people to break down this one for me, because it says mystery item. Enjoy a super secret mystery item in this month's crate that might just remind you of Joker's epic escape. So if you are what would that make you think of? I'm like, I don't know what item.
We have some personas in the chat.
Yes. Somebody let me know.
Yeah.
Let me grab just one or two other items, show off, because I'm always excited. I am always happy when they have these snacks. So the Puku Puku Tai, fun, delicious fish-shaped wafer snack full of fluffy chocolate mousse. Take a few bites while checking out the Kichoji. Yes. All right. And then
Taiyaki is always a lot of fun.
Oh, maybe it's this one is my secret one because I don't see it. So Peach? Persona, is there something with Peach and Joker's? Okay, I'm like, I don't know, because looking at the items, I'm probably cross-checking, but
be solved.
I want to say it's Peach, so let me know how Peach is connected to Joker's epic escape. That's my guess. Might not be, but that was looking at it. So anyways, thank you, Japan Crate, the super awesome box, and thank you for featuring that. So I feel so like dorky cool on that. I'm like, yay! Wait, there it is. Yay!
That's hysterical. That is so good.
That was such. Oh yeah, that was hilarious. So let me safely put this down and not drop stuff. So yes, go check out Japan Crate for all the goodies. It's great to eat for yourself and stagger it out or to share.
These crates are always big enough to share.
Yeah, I love to share
it
too. Yes. Or I like to send it to some of my like nieces and nephews and like their kids. I'm like, hey, do you want some candy that's like not your typical candy? And they're like, yes.
Here you go. Have fun.
Mm-hmm. Let me put that over there.
Put the soup in a bowl and then make a grilled cheese sandwich.
Right. I know. I was like, oh, I'm excited. Okay. Let's get into the other exciting thing y'all are here for. Where does he go? Okay. Whew.
My hero first, always.
No, I was like, because this one, I was kind of glad that we got to watch these two together because this was intense. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, they have been for sure for a while, but good lordy. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I talked to Elizabeth on Saturday about her approach to Midnight this season because this season was so intense. And then I watched both of these episodes Sunday night and went, okay. I have to get this out of the way because it's less compliment sandwich and more just kind of getting the out of the way before we talk about the content. I talked a little bit about how much I don't like broken video game characters. As that too. Mm-hmm. It's not getting better. I feel like there's a lot of really good drama. There's a lot of really good character moments. There's a lot of intense action. But there's also, in Dungeons and Dragons, there's an economy of action ideal called talking is a free action. And the idea is that when you're in combat, you have a certain set of actions that you can do on your turn, action, bonus action, movement, because turns are 6 seconds long. So the idea of talking being a free action is you don't have to use one of your allotted actions during your turn to yell for help or pass on information. Like talking as a free action is the idea that time does not pass while you're talking. You can say things. It gets a little ridiculous if you try to have a full conversation, but you can still say things without time moving on without you. There are some series, there are some media that take the idea of talking as a free action to heart, and that is sometimes where you get these bravado shonen speeches about, the power of friendship and etc. And there are some shows where, okay, talking is a free action. We're all going to pause and let this person monologue, and then we're going to go. And then there are some shows that are very, very clear that talking is not a free action and that everyone is very much pausing right now. Other things are happening while this conversation or this speech is going on. My Hero Academia does not believe in talking as a free action.
No.
They don't. They've made this clear from the get-go. So my question is, why do we let Shigaraki talk? Why do we let him give a speech? Why do we have, I mean, we followed it up with Endeavor going, hey, thanks for the nice break. But like, why do we let him do this? Do anything? Why do we let him take a minute to catch his breath and psych himself back up? Like, why? Because this is a thing. It's not an out of character thing. It's not a pacing thing. It's not a, when you have a series where talking is not a free action, that makes it decisions made on an in character, in story level. They all decided to stop and listen instead of doing something. So it's the sort of thing that bothers me, because usually my hero is so good about this sort of thing. And the other thing that drove me up the wall is nobody knows I have this, round that'll take away people's quirks. And then immediately he has that and it's announced. And then nobody does anything.
Deku
Nothing is
tries.
Deku tried, but like his hand is through the dragon's hand. If she just like moves it at all, it throws his aim off. If we've made it very clear that Aizawa is the person that we need to protect, neither of the people helping Aizawa try to move him. Or I know it's a lot to ask a pro hero.
It's like a little bit to be like this way, but yeah, I thought that too. I'm like, no.
Nothing was done. And again, because this is a show that doesn't pause when the action is happening, there were a few good seconds between he has this and it actually getting fired. And aside from Deku doing his best, nobody did anything. Like, it's one of those things where it feels like we're passing around the idiot ball to these pro heroes a little bit, just so we can give the villains even more of an edge. And it's the sort of thing that really annoys me, because again, this show has been very good at even fights, how you can use your quirk, how you can level up your quirk to get better, people being smart about what they're able to do and what's happening around them. Like, all of this just feels, if we're going back to tabletop terms again, a little railroady. Like, this story is on rails, this is what needs to happen, and therefore we need to fit characters around it, as opposed to every character feeling like an individual and acting as an individual, and that shaping the story.
We got a couple people in the chat. First, Giga Derek says, last time on Murder Hero Academia.
Yeah.
Woo! Then Charles mentions Endeavor had to let himself cool off to keep up his high heat attacks. Gran Torino mentioned afterwards that his attacks are losing power. I thought he was referring to
Shigaraki,
that
doesn't explain anybody else.
Plus, his speech lets us see Shiggy's ideals. And then referring to Aizawa, they tried to move him, but the bullet is launched. So I thought it looked like Locke and Aizawa are leaning like, and it wasn't enough to like, move him out of the way. But I agree. And those two episodes together, because I was like, where is it? Okay. I was like
most of it was good.
Aizawa's my boy. And I'm like, so the last episode where he's all being emotional with Deku too, and I'm like, like feel in the fields, and then this, I was like, no. But it's one of those. I'm pretty sure it's a shit show, but I'm still like, I have this small little bit of like, well, I need the follow up. This is almost a no body, no proof, just a tiny bit. I'm gonna hold on to that slip.
They cut it there for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
Let's be real. They absolutely cut it there for a reason.
Yes.
And again, so much of these episodes was so good. This was just the bit where I was sitting here going, come on.
No, there were so many moments too that I'm like, this is the Batman syndrome, or at least one version of Batman. Because I'm like, wait, one version. But it's like, sorry, Shigaraki's just too dangerous. We don't need him. Can we unalive him? Like,
I know, right?
With Deku and Endeavor, I'm like, no, this guy is too dangerous to be alive. There's not even a kernel of change within him no, he is on that path. There is no way he will ever change his mind. So maybe, we should just take him out.
And I mean, I
Um,
get that they are doing their best to take him out, and it is causing so many problems. And they've made the whole,
yes.
oh, yeah, no, they changed his body. He's more like a Nomu. He's more powerful, even without his
Yeah.
quirks. And again, I go back to the broken video game character complaint, which is hysterical because in season 1, it was Shigaraki treating all of this like a video game.
Hmm.
So, like, okay, now you get to be the person who's too OP, please nerf. All right. Are you happy at being on the other end of that dev scale, my dude? So yeah, for me there's issues, but there's also so much good in this episode and these
Mhm.
episodes, which is why when there's something that makes me go, "Ah," it really sticks out
Yeah.
because the show is generally very high quality. Case in point, can we talk about Compress just keeping cement in his pockets and exploding it at people? That's brilliant.
It's very
That's
smart. I was like, "Oh shit."
awful, but
Yeah.
it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's just
That was that was a moment too that some of the people, I mean, I guess once they get hit, you're already in that motion, but I was like, "Oh no, can you like kick off it so it doesn't really fall on you?" But I think you're already like stunned at that point anyways.
yeah. Yeah, if
So,
you get hit in the face with a mass of
yeah, you're
concrete
like,
and
"Man, I'm out."
rebar, you're
Yeah.
and it's also one of those you're heading in and it goes from nothing to
Boom.
bigger than
Yeah.
you, headed your direction very quickly. Like
Yeah.
there's the bruisers of the world, the all mights and endeavors and large explosive, etc. Like there are some heroes that are able to stand up to that sort of thing. And I think we kind of forget that not everyone is like this.
Mhm.
It's not Dragon Ball Z. Not everyone can take that much bludgeoning damage in a round.
Yes.
And so seeing it hit midnight and going, she's not okay.
I was
She's
like,
not okay.
"No."
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
Like the impact and the stakes are so good. They're shown so well. They're so good. It's just like, oh, I love this and I hate this at the same time. Congratulations. Ah.
Yes, Charles points out the students' teamwork was impressive. Absolutely. I liked
Yes.
them working all together and then finally like knowing their quirks. But reminded, we've been here for a year, and I'm like,
Year.
it's only been a year? Just one? They're not seniors yet. It's not 4. Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah, they're like 16, 15, 16,
I was like, I thought
maybe.
they're seniors by now, man.
No. Yeah, they're
Well,
sophomores.
5 seasons does that to you.
It does.
I was like, wait, it's been 5 seasons. It's been 5 years. No,
5
but
seasons with just things stacked back to back to
Yeah.
back to back. It's
they've had
woof.
accelerated growth because it's impacted
Mhm.
time. But go
Mhm.
Momo for stepping up too. I
Yeah.
was like, yes, and like, yeah, giving everybody to do their thing, which I really liked.
Yeah. It's Gigantomachia being the villain from way
Ooh.
back when in the
Yeah.
flashbacks. It's just like this show needs an origin story for like everyone.
Mhm.
Everything has to come back around. And honestly, I
Mhm.
kind of admire that
Mhm.
because it doesn't do it like, oh, well, we have to go out of our way to explain. It's like, oh, and also, by the way, this.
Mhm.
So on the one hand, I'm a little sad that that hero play faltered, and on the other hand, it's like, no, when something like that is wired into your brain, when trauma is wired into your brain and then something triggers it, like I'm not gonna blame you for
No.
reacting to that.
Speaking of that, Gary Goderick says the UA curriculum is mostly trauma and violence the first year. True that, at least for these kids.
I'm gonna say this. I feel like this is the Spiders George year, where they're an outlier and shouldn't be counted.
Yeah, they're
Like-
unique. Of this is more stuff going on, which is why Aizawa was like, I need to be there to watch them grow, and I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna
This
almost-
is definitely the season of a lot of the heroes we're focusing on are teachers,
Mhm.
and we don't always really focus on the teaching
Ooh,
aspect
and
of things.
Cemento stepping up again. It's like, yes.
Cementos for MVP, I swear.
It's like, yes,
That
they got
man.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. And Mount Lady too. Her like, I
Yeah.
am going, like her gritting her teeth for so. I was like, girl, thank you, oh, you are doing your best.
And just, I haven't clung to a guy since middle school. Like, you know, they when you first meet her, they don't really portray her as the nicest person. They really put her as like, oh, she's in it
Mhm.
for the glory. She's in it for
Mhm.
the accolades. And then here she shows up above and beyond.
She's like, I got this, and she's up against something bigger than her, and she's already huge, so it's not an even fight. But and the fact that she goes, hey, those kids were trying to throw something in his mouth, I should be doing this. I was like, yes, thank you. Observation.
I was worried she was going to lose a finger or several.
The fingers. I was like, no, count. Yeah.
Yeah, no, hand horror is a very specific sort of thing. And so it's like, I'm glad they didn't go there because, like hand horror and eye horror are two.
I was just going to say, I'm all eyes and hands. I'm like,
hands and eyes, man. Hands and eyes. Those are the, those are the very specific sort of.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, Gigantomachia is literally built like a tank. With all of the extra quirks and whatnot, and all of the, okay, we get it, you're broken, let's go. But I appreciate everyone rallying together and the students going for it and just, how are we going to put out the fire? Oh, just sink the forest, it's fine. Then cutting back to Dobby, is your arm okay? I don't know. Like, Dobby not giving a singular care as to his own well-being. And it's like, yeah.
And they got one violin, so we'll see how much that does, because Momo thought that one would be enough, but he kind of did his power-up that I'm a little concerned it won't be as effective. But I can't tell if that power-up, because he, like, got bigger and his body changed a little bit.
Yeah.
But is that then relation of, mass to contents of the elixir? But hopefully
we still have to wait for...
Make him drowsy.
We still have to wait for it to kick in. It's one of those, Namek is going to blow up in 5 minutes sort of things. Like, alrighty, it's a waiting game, and God knows how long it's going to take.
Well, they did mention the harder he works, the faster it's going to affect him. So I'm like, okay.
Survival strat, just stay alive. Like, okay, good luck. We cut away from midnight and we have not cut back. We cut away from Aizawa at the end of the episode, and occasionally we just like to cut back to the control center and go, well, people saw towers of flame over there, so that might still be Endeavor at work. But like, we just like cutting back to All Might with Aerie on his lap. Just like, okay, all right, that hurts. But I'm also wondering how far along her quirk has gotten, because, like, maybe she can fix things at this point. We don't know. That's another thing we kind of keep cutting away from.
We forgot about that one.
But it's been less than a year of her being able to chill at all. I think her quirk was inactive because it had been overused so much and she just wasn't. I think that's where we last left her.
I think it was also just a trauma that she didn't know how to comfortably tap into it versus it being forced. So she needs to get to that point where it's not a stress-inducing thing to do your gift. So, or a trauma response. It needs to be a, I want to, and go. Not a, freaking out and internal.
And I mean, that last fight with Overhaul, with her just continually using it on Deku to keep him going. It's like, all right, this is an actual very intelligent way to do it. Super messed up and probably extremely taxing for this small child.
Yes. I'm trying to think if there's... Well, and then also just Deku showing up so well. And I like Endeavor telling Bakugo, like, okay, well, you watch Deku. Like, you take care of him. And then I like that he asked about his son. He's like, where's Shoto? And I was like, all right,
he's over there.
He's not with us right now.
He's not directly in harm's way right now.
Yes.
Can we talk about how the 100% smash was Wyoming smash?
I did think that was funny. I'm like, we finally did 100.
If you're going to put all of your rage and anger and existential crises into a blast, why not name it after Wyoming?
I mean, right?
I lived in Wyoming for 2 years. I'm allowed to talk shit. And the fact that that he caught it in his teeth, just ew. And also, really?
Yeah.
Really? Oh yeah, Gran Torino.
Oh, also shout out to past version of Gran Torino of like, hello, handsome and tall. Like, what?
Yeah.
I think I just envisioned he was a, like, petite person always, like I never thought he was a different size. So when they're showing this like tall, muscular man, I'm like, who is that?
It's like, I know there's that idea of like people shrinking as they get older
Right,
because
I
of
was
the
like,
posture thing, but like,
yeah.
okay.
Yes, I thought that was interesting to see. And then the fact that he knows who Shigaraki is and his connection. And I'm like, because I don't think the other
Yeah.
people know, and the other people, it's kind of important to know.
And they made the best decision they could at the time,
yeah,
and it turns
gotta be safe.
out because of just circumstances
And
later
his
on,
dad
it was
being
not
a
the right one.
bad parent too.
Well, his dad being heckin' traumatized,
Oh
and
yeah, no,
again,
it's one of
there's
those trauma cycle. Yep.
yeah, and there's still very much, just generally speaking in society, stigma against therapy. The idea that if you go to therapy, if you need to talk to someone, you're broken. And
Yeah.
so a lot of people won't do it. It's the I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. Can't speak as to whether that was the case here, but your mental health is very important, generally speaking. So, yeah, I think a lot of the times when we run across a villain with something like that, it's the mental health crisis. Them being in crisis was unaddressed or ignored for so long, and then compounded with societal factors. Like, we get that in real life, but everything is just to the nth degree when you add superpowers into the mix.
Yes.
And so for Shigaraki, it was just cascading failures.
Oh yeah.
That led to this.
We got Rab
Not
also.
necessarily his.
Yes.
The Wyoming stress.
Wyoming stress. Like,
Yeah.
why did you do this? And then also that reminded me of Gyutaro catching Uzui Blade with his teeth in Demon Slayer.
True. But Gyutaro's not human. Gabriel's allowed to do crazy, stupid shit. He's Gabriel.
If you don't know what we're talking about, go back and watch our Demon Slayer coverage.
If you don't know what we're talking about, go back and watch me transcend reality for about 15 minutes explaining the plot of Malignant and how it definitely does not parallel this latest season of Demon Slayer.
My Hero is about society failing the cast badly.
That's true.
Yeah, because it's a good point of, and then it sucks because it's not like you picked your quirk. So if you've got a quirk society doesn't like, what? You're like a bit SOL on that one of, it's not like his choice. And then Gigador said met Ray Chase last weekend too. Yay!
Nice.
But yeah, those were some intense episodes watched together, and so
one long anxiety attack this season.
Our chaser.
Just one long anxiety attack this season.
Yes,
like this coming episode's gonna be like, great.
I'm glad you reminded me about the Eri though, because I'm like, wait, Eri, maybe if something does happen for Aizawa, maybe Eri can fix it.
He's a very big piece to move off the board, generally speaking, for the larger plot. Like, it was one thing to do it to Lemillion because we'd known him for half a season. We'd gotten to know him. He was great. It was the introduction of the big three. So it was very much an example of what can be done. But doing it to Aizawa is much more of a game changer.
Yeah.
So that's it's not, oh, they're not going to do it. It's not, oh, it can't be done. It's how are they going to
get through it? Yeah.
If this is not a fake out and them cutting it right at the moment and then going to credits, it's a wham moment, but it also leaves the potential for it to be a fake out, for it to be a fluke, for something to go in the hero's favor for once in this arc. I'm a little salty about how broken the villains are right now. I am. I don't expect an easy victory, but some of this is just like, would not put it above being a fake out just because of where the show cut. And because they have this entire arc of the manga already done, when they sit down to do the anime, they can very much choose, okay, we're going to group these chapters into an episode. We're going to cut here. We're going to add a little more here, or cut this or rearrange it. Like, they have the story and then they're able to edit it for TV, or adapt it for TV rather, as it were. So there's very much, maybe this is just denial talking, River in Egypt stuff, but
Oh, yeah. I'm like, please.
River in Egypt, we have fun.
I'm being hopeful. Cross my fingers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible that it's a fake out,
Yeah.
but removing Aizawa from the board at this point in time is kind of a wild one, given how important, how clear they've made it that he's very important, that they were going after his quirk in the beginning to begin with, that he's the only one that can keep Shigaraki in check, that, there's, it's going to have crazy story implications if they do that. That doesn't mean they won't do it. It just means it's a shift.
Yeah. And speaking of Shigaraki's speech about heroes hurting the ones they love when talking to Endeavor is ironic.
I think you mean iconic.
Yes, I was like, that's a bit on the nose.
It is.
Yes.
It's a little preaching choir here, but the thing about Endeavor is he tried. Nobody is required to forgive Endeavor for anything. Nobody. Not his kids, not the audience. Nobody is required to forgive Endeavor. And the show makes it clear that that's the case, which I appreciate. But the show is also showing us that he is actually taking the steps and trying to be a better person. And that's more than you can say for a lot of narratives where they have someone in Endeavor's place and then they're like, oh, it's better now. It's better now, and everyone needs to accept that it's better now. Like, this show is actually extremely well balanced in terms of forgiving an abuser regardless of the steps they've made.
Yeah.
Like, that's the show is handling it extremely well, in my opinion. I know that's not everyone's opinion, and people's opinions on this are absolutely valid, but I think this was one of the more balanced takes I've seen on that.
Derek points out for Aizawa removing him here dooms everyone in that fight. That's a good point.
That's fair. That's fair. Especially with the metric ton of Nomu running around back there.
Ooh.
I kind of love Anubis looking Nomu. Like, I like the design on that.
Oh, and the near high ends.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
The mid-shelf alcohol.
Yeah.
Costs a little more to make a cocktail with that, but not as much as something from the top shelf.
Yeah. So speaking of alcohol and chasers, we'll get to our chaser. We got Spy Family.
Yes.
Okay, these were a little fillery for me.
Oh yeah. I'm also okay with the filler because it gives us some really wild stuff. And maybe it's nice to have a little breather in between. Oh, Lloyd nearly died. Like died.
But I think like the PE one worked so well and was so funny. And I felt with these, I was a little less engaged. Just a little bit. I was like,
They were fluffier, but they were I cannot get over George and his quote unquote last day at school. And for me, Anya being so removed from all of it, like everyone else is kind of in this shoujo anime magic where we're going to show him a good time because it's his last day and we're all going to sing together and it's the power of friendship and it'll be so sweet. And Anya's over here. Yeah. I'm going to give you this leaf I found on the ground. And then the leaf keeps showing up in the background. And then hard cut to back home. So yeah, that happened.
Yeah, there we go. The very sad for George. The secondhand embarrassment was through the roof. Yeah, I was like, that was rough.
Yeah.
Because I thought, wow, but I loved that Anya called out that liar. And Damien got all like flushed about it. And well, I didn't, it's like, sure you didn't like that, And I just thought that was adorable. And Becky, oh, you'll just take any guy. I thought that was like, go Becky.
So much of Anya, this entire story, actually, everyone's all caught up in the magic and she's like, okay, is very much being the only Arrow Ace person in the room when everyone's talking about romance. It's that experience. It's just like, everyone sure is feeling something in the air tonight. Lord. But, so it's like, okay, that's big Arrow Ace energy. I'm here for it.
And Becky going, oh, your dad's so strict. Oh, that sounds great. And like, just stop.
And also just like, boy, you'll take any guy, won't you? I'm like, Becky.
Yeah,
Becky,
that one. I was like,
sweetie,
Becky,
you're 6.
slow down.
You're
Yeah.
6 and Anya's like 4,
Yeah.
5
Like,
maybe.
back up.
Anya's not 6.
Yeah.
I did watching it through a second time because we watched it when it dropped, and then we watched it again last night.
Mhm.
And I was just like, he's so overdramatic. This is ridiculous. And I'm watching it with my roommate, and she's like, yeah, but he's 6. He probably very much believes all of this, including the getting
Yes.
sold to Westalis bit. Like,
I had
you
my
know, you're
moments
right.
too where I thought, wow, that was a bit, and then I thought, no, these are children. This is exactly how over emotional and invested.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And Charles agrees. Anya standing up for Damien was wholesome. I
It
appreciate that
was.
she did that too. She's all, no, that guy's a liar.
Like, that was sweet.
And I thought that was interesting. But then we learned who that other spy was, who was changing the grades. And I, for a first moment, thought it was going to be Damien's older brother. And then was like, oh, wait, no, this is a totally different kid.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah,
like, oh, okay.
just the best that 3 months of allowance and an elderly butler can buy. Amazing.
Aww. Yeah.
Amazing. So bad. I love it.
Yeah. And then so bad of, man, I felt bad for Yor of running all those errands. I love seeing her in action. My goodness.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
that was cute of, oh, the kid forgot stuff. I'm like, you could still be a mom and show up at school and be like, oh, I have something for her, you know.
I
But
understand
he
the
doesn't know.
not drawing attention to the error in the first place.
Yeah, that's, oh no, totally get that.
Yeah.
But
And
the
just,
spider on the side. That was probably one of the funniest moments too.
There's a ghost of a woman who haunts this room, and then it cuts to her and just like the one hair going while she's breathing at the window. Like that whole bit. Like, where did the Sokka go this episode? There, and the dean turning around dramatically. Like, that's where the animation budget went this episode, and it was so good.
Yeah.
I appreciate that everyone's particular levels of blind spot and just lack of brain cell balance each other out so well in this family. It's difficult to strike a balance like that, making characters where you can truly believe, like, oh yeah, no one's going to figure this out anytime soon. And the 4 or 5-year-old who does have it figured out is 4 or 5 and doesn't always get things. So just, it's a buck wild balancing act, and it's so well executed in the writing.
And Lloyd not guessing why yours there was great.
Yeah.
And trying to figure it out. But also, I loved his moment where he asked her out for a lunch date. I was like, that's really adorable and cute, not invasive or weird, and just like, oh, that's really sweet. And, you know, she's just like, yes, I would love to do that. So I was like, oh.
Totally wasn't yelling, now kiss at the TV. It's fine.
Yes. No. It's a very natural, organic, like, because they barely know each other. I mean, they live together. Yeah. It's not like they're, you know, having time to get to know each other that way. So it's like, oh, no, that's cute.
I mean, I think it's been a few months, but like...
But even if you're like a roommate with someone, they're both busy doing their stuff during the day, and hanging out is one thing, but like, you know, alone time too, like taking care of Anya is a very, just like, that's a full-time activity.
Yep.
That's a busy child. But keeps him busy. And Bond was just kind of there, Bond. But he was adorable. I was waiting for him to do something, but he didn't. He was a little more chill this episode.
I love Bond so much. It's like, we don't have to focus on him. We know he's intelligent, and we know that he's precognizant, and just he's just fun. He's just a big fluffy borf, and we love him.
Yes. What was the other? Oh, and then Anya's cute little detective outfit for shadowing.
I loved that extended bit of Anya shadowing Yor on an
Oh, that was super funny.
That was hysterical. Just tell him we went to the tomato festival. But also, I was surprised to find out that they actually had Lloyd instated at the hospital. That, like, it's not just, oh, I'm going to the hospital and then just leaving. Like, no, he does spend time there. He has patience. It's wild. Yes. Like, I was not expecting that. And I was not expecting it to be, oh yeah, no, there's all these normal people who are friends with him and work with him. And a couple of wise agents,
Yes.
including the person that we keep seeing in the opening and ending for this season. Tell me your secrets. I think we get to see her more next episode, but
the white Bob. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who are you? Again, I at one point yelled, "Tell me your secrets!" I think it was the episode preview for this episode. Just like, you're in the theme. I need to know.
And Secret Space did thoroughly enjoy Anya in the vents and people believing it's a ghost.
The ghost bit, yeah. And the
okay, that was just silly, stupid, but that was funny, silly, stupid.
The sandbox for toys and Lloyd just analyzing it like, oh my god, it's all chaos.
But that sounds probably about accurate for Anya. There's a lot going on.
As much as it was like, oh, this was just a quick impromptu, throw it all in, it was not an inaccurate reflection. No. And Lloyd going, she got pulled from the orphanage by a stranger. She got thrown into all of this like she hasn't had time to recover. But instead of going, maybe I haven't been the best dad, it was, I failed as a spy. Yeah. So it's like, you were close. You were close. You were close. This isn't, he's off, but he got the spirit. Like, no, this is failing at the finish line, my dude. But like he knows how to be a dad. In the same way for Yor, it's like, she doesn't know how to be a mom. She raised her younger brother, but like,
yeah.
that's
it's like, well, yeah.
Well, about that.
Yeah. But I agree. I'm curious to know who this other character is, which we get the preview for next time. So these were nice chasers to the My Hero Anxiety episodes.
And then we just had Anya with her code. I want to know, if her handwriting is so bad, how did she ever take any tests? How can anyone read her handwriting for multiple choice is the answer my roommate gave me.
Yeah.
But also just handing out the secret code to everyone, the ladies in the hall pegging it for what it is immediately. Yeah. And Frankie kind of, on the one hand, this entire short was kind of about kicking Frankie in the face. On the other hand, he's kind of an incel sometimes. So like, I don't feel bad.
Yeah.
Like, I had a higher opinion of him before he got she can at least sympathy date me a bit. And I was like, nah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Sympathy gone. You're not a bad person, but that is a bad mindset.
And I liked Bond essentially silencing the alarm a little bit too, and Anya, just gonna sleep.
Yep. It's like, it's the weekend. Bond's like, no, she just needs sleep. Nope.
Go to bed. Yes.
Just nah.
Yeah. So that's cute. We'll see where it goes for next week.
Yeah.
And then getting. I was like, where? I've added new tabs, so I'm like, here we go. Like,
where are we? What are we doing?
Yes. All right. So then the other thing we have is stuff you should watch, check out, read, whatever. I haven't had as much time to watch stuff, but I have been keeping up with Chainsaw Man, and that is definitely a fun one.
Yes.
I was behind a bit, so it's nice to have a few episodes in a row to watch. And there's some moments I'm like, I prefer sub, but I wanted to hear Ryan Colt Levy say some of the lines. I was like, reading this up, I'm like, oh gosh, I want to hear what that sounds like in English because it's so absurd and buck wild. I was like, I gotta hear it. So I thought it's a very entertaining show. If you haven't watched it, but it is extremely high on the gore. So if you're not into gore, that might be a bit much for you. But it's surprising how much heart is at the center of that show.
Yeah, no, we've been watching it, and it's about, we tend to like miss a week for whatever reason, and so we watch the episodes 2 at a time, which I'm realizing for me is preferable.
Yeah.
Just for me personally, in terms of pacing, you kind of got to duck on Twitter to avoid spoilers, but like it's, well, for me, watching them 2 at a time, I got the answer for that cat better be okay. Pretty quickly. I don't think I would have been okay with it if I had to wait a week for that. So it is still fun. It's still one of those things where I don't know that I would have come to it on my own.
Sure.
But I am enjoying it.
And there's some fun, crude, sexy humor stuff that's a bit interesting. But I like that they're approaching some of it in a realistic way of like, all right, cool. You may have these wants and desires, but if you don't actually care about the person, it's not the same thing. I was like, oh, okay. So like they're giving some depth to just the very surface level, lustful desire, if you will. So I like that they had that in there. So it makes it a little more interesting versus he's just some horny guy, like that's for comedic value, but let's have a little bit more in there. Yeah.
And we've introduced our larger villain for the series.
Yes,
it seems.
Which of course,
but we also had.
I'm like, no spoilers, but of course, where it's from, I was like,
Very
spot on.
I was just making Ruby jokes the whole time because it's also a gun is extremely a Ruby joke about like everything. So yeah, just like, oh yeah, no, all of this that's happening right here tracks. But also the conversation about I had a very simple goal and I achieved it and it wasn't what I expected and I don't know what to do now. Like that is life conversations there. Like that is something that a lot of people still need help figuring out and still haven't figured out. Like that's not one of those, oh, we'll set bigger goals. Oh, we'll do better. It's like, no, you still kind of have to grapple with the idea of you had this thing on a pedestal or this was the thing you were striving for and then you got there and that was it. The journey
and
rather than the destination
wasn't quite right too.
Yeah. So it's it's crude, it's violent, it's beautifully animated.
Yes.
But it also definitely has those conversations about human nature and human psychology and how to handle things. And like Chainsaw Man is a weird one, but not a bad one.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah. Did you have other things?
Nope, that was kind of my main one that I've been watching. I started Our Flag Means Death, but I'm not.
It's so good.
It's a little dry for me right now, but I'm curious enough to keep going because I've
How
had
far
so
in
many
are
friends.
you?
2 or 3 episodes.
Keep going.
Okay.
I
was like, I have plenty of friends who highly recommend it, so I'm like, I'll keep going. But I mean, I'm not. It's more. I'm very neutral. Like
fair. I watched up through 6, I believe, before I stopped for whatever reason. I need to go back to it.
Yes.
I think it was episode 4 or episode 5. I don't remember which one it was, about passive aggression, where I was just straight up enamored by the end. Like it was all like, oh, this is fun. Oh, this is fun. And by the end of that one, I was like, yes, A plot and B plot on that one. Stellar. So yeah,
it's one that's interesting enough for that, and I'm curious to keep going. So I'll keep watching. I'll report back later.
It's confirmed to have a season 2. Whether that happens with all of the everything happening at Discover and HBO remains to be seen. But like, so far they said we're getting another season of Harley Quinn and a Valentine's Day special, and we're getting another season of Our Flag Means Death. So, they haven't murdered all the queer content, so that's good.
Yeah.
This week we went to go see a comedian named Randy Feltface. And if you've never heard this guy, he's a puppet.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those, like, that's the name. What? Oh, he's a puppet. Oh, for one, the puppetry is goddamn amazing. Like, watching the YouTube bits or watching him live and just going, are there 2 people under there puppeteering? How many hands does this person have? The jokes are amazing. The comedic timing is stellar. They filmed a performance because he was down at the Dynasty Typewriter. So like a 200-seat venue. The performance was absolutely amazing. I know they filmed the Friday night one, and I cannot wait for it to hit YouTube so I can sit here and go, everyone watch it. But the performance from a few years ago that I watched, or rather I had seen a 20-minute clip from it, and then went to this amazing live show, and then watched the previous performance in its entirety, it's called Randy Writes a Book. And he's this, I believe he's either Australian or Kiwi. I think he's Australian. Because there is a difference. I just am not good enough at accents to be able to tell you right off the bat which one it is. And he just has all these bits about life and experiences. And it's one of those comedy routines where it's funny, it's funny, it's funny. Australian, thank you. where
Mhm.
it's hysterical and then it hits you in the face with a life truth that you were not expecting. You
Mm.
sit with that for a little bit, and then it goes back to being absolutely hysterical. There's again in the live show that I watched, there is a bit about Sweet Caroline that completely ended me. It was so good. But the Randy Writes a Book special is available on YouTube. It's on his YouTube channel. It's about an hour long. And the conceit for the special is that he's written a book and now he is going to start reading it to this audience to get constructive feedback. And he keeps putting it off by telling other stories and doing other things. And if you don't want to sit down and commit for an hour-long show, if you're not sure you'll like it, just look up Randy Buys a Bookshelf Off of Gumtree. Because it is one of the funniest comedy bits I have ever seen in my life. We quote it around the apartment all the time. It has become the, oh, you're doing something on your Buy Nothing group? Okay, like sort of thing. And it's about 15, 20 minutes long. And it is a masterclass in starting what would seem to be a simple story and just building and building and building and building with a completely ridiculous climax. Like,
Mm.
and this is a puppet comedian. So, Randy Feltface, if you're up for the whole thing, it's called Randy Writes a Book. If you just want to do a little sample to start with, look up Randy Buys a Bookshelf Off of Gumtree and just make sure you're not drinking anything when you're watching that. You will choke on it. It's so hard to recommend comedy because things hit differently for different people.
Very true. It is one of those. Yeah.
I have yet to meet anyone who did not lose their entire mind over the buying a bookshelf off of Gumtree bit.
All right.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. So that's my recommendation.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yay. Well,
You
thank
should
you.
watch it too.
I know.
Enjoy
I'm curious
yourself.
now. I'm like,
you
maybe
can
that
you
sounds
just,
fun.
yeah.
Yes, let us know your recommendations too. Leave a comment down below. So thank you everybody for tuning in and watching. Hope you have a good holiday week, whatever you end up doing. And I was just seeing if anybody else. No, thank you everybody who joined us in the live chat. And again, if you watch it later, no worries. Comment down below. And Kitty, where can
Comment down below and tell us how you like your sweet potatoes. I don't care for sweet potatoes is a valid answer, but like everyone's got an opinion on sweet potatoes.
I like to slice them in thin slices, pan fry them in olive oil. Also bake them cut them open, put ghee butter, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and cinnamon.
So you like them savory?
Yes, more on the savory side. You get, definitely more on the savory side. But
we do mashed in. I don't think we do much in the potatoes themselves. I know there's butter and whatnot in there. In an 8x8, covered with a topping of brown sugar and pecans, and then baked. It's amazing. That crunch really adds to it.
They also make really good hash browns too.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Giga Derek says only in pie.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That is fair.
But yeah, I would say sweet. Also you can do them like cut up, anyway. A lot. I like my sweet potatoes. But yes, Katie, where can people find you online? And what anything else online you want to be promoting?
You can follow me all over the social medias as well as on YouTube and Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. And when I say all of them, I mean I have also recently joined Hive, like today. So if you look at that profile and go, well, that seems a little blank, but it still says Kiaxet. No, that's me. I just haven't prettied it up yet. Today's been nuts. Again, follow the Fanversation channel for those Anime Pasadena interviews. I'm very pleased with those. We had a very good time at that convention. If you enjoy reactions, discussion videos, etc., they are all on my Kiaxet YouTube channel. If you would like reactions, discussions, etc., about horror things, I am also a co-host on Silver Screams on YouTube, and that's me and my roommate losing our mind over horror stuff. It's very fun. Go check it out.
Yay. And y'all can find me online at Carrie D Lane on all platforms. I have not joined other ones just yet, but I'm if I do, I'd probably try to keep it the same so you can find on all the things. Thank you again to, I was like, let me hold it up. Thank you again to Japan Crate. Always exciting to get all those kind of yummy goodies. And if you missed it a while ago, there's still links down below for our coverage from the Animation is Film Festival, as well as all the One Piece interviews, which some of those were a press junket as well at the festival. So those are in the description below. I feel that's the biggest ones now. And then, by the way, Fanversation has a TikTok page. So come find us on TikTok. And then let us, leave comments, let us know what kind of other shows or, movies titles you're into. And then maybe we'll try to include that on some kind of coverage. So
yeah,
let us know. And I think that kind of covers it. Thank you again, everybody, and take care of yourselves.
Yeah. If you're going to travel for this holiday, and I realize it's an American holiday weekend, so if you have international viewers, like, okay. If you're traveling for this holiday weekend, please be safe. Please take care of yourself. If you are not comfortable in public, don't let anyone tell you that wearing a mask is the wrong thing to do. I'm going through 2 major airports, and you bet I'm going to be wearing a mask the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
We're not. We are attempting to avoid the finding out part of that equation. So, travel safely, take care of yourselves. Understand that if there are any difficult discussions around the Thanksgiving table, that excusing yourself from the table is a valid strategy. Again, I think this all just falls under take care of yourselves, because this is not always the most fun holiday for everyone, depending on your family dynamics. So
any family gathering can be intense.
It can be. They can be rough depending on your situation, and there is no shame in having to survive the holiday as opposed to enjoy it. If that is your situation, I wish you the best. Please take care of yourself. Please travel safely. And we will see you next week, because we are planning to do one next week.
Yes.
I'm flying my ass back from Colorado, and then we're going to record. It's going to be great.
I just got back from Colorado. This is I got my Colorado earrings. Yeah. But yes, I went through airports, had my mask on. I'm like, absolutely. I'm like, no, wear a mask. Like, don't.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's
be safe.
Yeah.
But yes.
Get your flu shot. The flu this year is nasty. And for those of you who voted in the midterms, thank you for voting. Regardless of how you voted, thank you for exercising your civic duty.
Absolutely. And all voting, every election matters. So
yes,
make sure to show up.
Yes.
All right.
I think that's all the PSAs, as it were.
Yeah.
Like I say PSAs, but also like I mean it.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And we got thanks for the show. Yes, thank you for tuning in, everybody, and we'll be seeing you next week. Yes, which is the most we can do, is do our best. All righty. All right,
happy
take care, everyone.
Thanksgiving and or happy week.
Yes.
Yes.
Bye. Yeah.